Okay, explain Hickspicks. This is from a student in another program where she said, please explain the Hickspicks book and codes as we never reviewed them in class. I've been doing this a lot lately. People getting my Blitz and they're taking someone else's course and they're trying to fill in the blanks. And so I'm doing a lot of one-on-one help. So let me go over that with you. Now, the particular version I have has the introduction on page 80. This is the one that comes with our textbook package by Carol Buck. But most Hickspicks books have an introduction like this, so I encourage you to find that. I mean, it's pretty strange to me that an introduction is on page 80 of the book. But basically, when you're first getting into coding, there's the three main manuals: CPT, ICD, and Hickspicks. CPT is the procedures, what they did for the patient, and ICD is why, the reason, the diagnoses. And Hickspicks tends to be, it is procedures, which the book says here, but normally when I'm telling a brand new coder, when they're trying to figure out the difference, I say CPT is procedures, ICD is diagnoses, and Hickspicks is like things, supplies, products. But they do have some codes for services and procedures. This information here about the three levels of Hickspicks is important to understand, especially if you haven't taken the board exam yet. They like to have questions about this on the board exam. So when we say Hickspicks as, coder to coder, we normally mean this book that is Hickspicks level 2. But Hickspicks overall actually means these three levels, level 1 being the CPT manual itself. Okay, so that's important to understand if you get some documentation from Medicare and it's talking about Hickspicks, but it's reporting a CPT code. That's because it is part of their Hickspicks coding system. It's just level 1. They didn't want to recreate the wheel, but they wanted to add to it. Okay, so level 1 are codes and descriptors, copyrighted by the AMA, and that's the CPT. Okay, level 2 includes codes and descriptors copyrighted by the American Dental Association. There are 5 position alphanumeric. Well, it's not just the American Dental. I don't know why they just said that, but it's got alphanumeric, so A through V pretty much is what they start with, and then 4 numbers, whereas CPT is 5 numbers. So that's how you can tell right away if a claim form was dropped right in front of you and you're just looking at the code numbers. If it starts with the letter, you know it's a Hickspicks level 2 code. Now, these are the type of questions they love to ask in that practice management section, just general, multiple choice questions when you're doing Hickspicks. They are approved and maintained jointly by CMS, the Health Insurance Association of America, and the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association. So that's who maintains this particular book. So it doesn't mean that all the codes in here are approved by Medicare. They are put in here at the request of private insurance companies too. So it still applies. Some are covered by Medicare, some aren't. And level 3 really no longer exists. It used to be used by regional carriers, but they did away with it. The more sophisticated computer systems became, they no longer needed to have separate tracking systems. So I'm in New Jersey, Alicia's in Texas. We have different carriers. The New Jersey carrier might decide, well, you know what? This is what we're going to monitor for this quarter. And in Texas, they're monitoring something different. So what they would do in order to monitor it, they would ask you to use different codes, which, that's kind of dumb because it's like, heads up, we're monitoring this. But now they just want us to use regular CPT or level 2 Hickspicks codes, and they'll do their tracking that way. So that's kind of simplified it. Now, the level 3 codes used to be the ones that started with X, Y, and Z, and that's why you'll see the level 2 codes tend to be A through V, just so that you know. There are modifiers, alpha numeric modifiers in Hickspicks. Okay, and I just bring this up because it's important to know that you can mix and match the level 1 Hickspicks CPT with level 2. For example, we use RT and LT, which is technically a Hickspicks modifier, on CPT codes all the time. and you can do the reverse. So as you flip through, you'll see there's codes for ambulance, there's codes for wheelchairs, walkers, supplies, the J codes for injectable things that aren't in CPT. Okay, so I don't want to spend too much more time on this. I do cover it in the Blitz and in the course, but that's just to give you an overview of what this book is all about. But I would recommend you get out your introduction and read it and flip through all the pages to get familiar with what's in there.
Get more CPC exam tips, coding certification training, and CEU credits. Go to www.codingcertification.org.